Hi guys, this is Dan again. Welcome back to my channel. So today is Monday and I actually got out of work earlier than normal, and it so happens my last client where I went to, there was a Petco near where I was at, for my job. So I decided to stop in before they close, and I wasn't planning on getting anything, but then they have so many things in there that it's pretty hard to resist. Especially, I think the person who worked in the fish department might have gotten things wrong, where I thought some of these are pretty good deals, like at least two of them. So last week I added a new feather duster, so I had two of them. So those two I actually bought it for $15 each. Petco has a bunch of feather dusters in stock, and this one, the feathers are actually darker than the two that I'm currently having. It's only $12.99 there, the warm feather duster. So I think that one is right. The other one that I think I might be wrong is this anemone here. So this is a white tip, long white anemone with purple tips. And this one, I asked him how much it was, and he said that one is called the Haitian anemone. But I'm going to look that up later, and it was $13.99. So it was hard to pass up on just $13.99 because from my stories that I had 3 anemone in here, and sadly 2 of them died because for some reason they started shrinking, and it just perished. And this one here is still thriving, but it's so small now that it's not dead yet, because I know that because it keeps changing size every day, but not as big as it used to be. And that one was the original pink bow tip that I had, which cost $60. But this one here, I wasn't planning on getting any more anemone for my tank because I wasn't successful with it, obviously, because 2 of them already died. But this one was only, the kid said it's only $13.99, so I just decided just to give it another shot. And then the last thing I saw in the tank was this piece here, and I'm pretty sure it was a piece of coral with bubbles, like pearl bubbles, like one that I already have. The one I have here, this one looks really cool. So this one looks similar to that, and I kept telling the kid that I think it's a piece of coral, and I was asking him how much it was. And he said, nope, that's an anemone. So he sold it to me for $14.99, and he called it Anemone Flower Caribbean, I think it was CAR stands for. So I said, fine, I'll take that, because I know that the frags of these bubbles are probably around 25 to 30 bucks. And I definitely know for sure now it's definitely a piece of coral rather than anemone, because I can see it's shrunk, like all the bubbles have shrunk down, just like what a live coral would do, and not an anemone. So I'm going to let these 3 new items acclimate to the tank, and I'll be back as soon as I release them. Be right back. Thanks. Hey guys, so it's been a little while since I acclimated the 3 new pieces to my tank, and this one I just started to do the follow-up, and this feather duster that I added last week just came out. The new one, I actually put it right in the center because the color is a bit different than the current 2 that I have. This one is actually a deeper purple rather than brown. It's kind of hard to tell from my videos because the lighting in here is not that great. Probably find a way to fix that in the future, but this one really adds colors to the tank because it's different than the other 2 feather duster. The pearl bubble frag that I got, that the kid said it was an anemone, it's definitely a coral because it looks exactly the same as this guy here that I got for, I think if I remember correctly, it was $60. So this one he sold it for me for $15, so it's not that bad. And the color is a little bit darker than this one. So I don't know if you can tell from the video, but side by side view. This one is definitely darker, so I'm happy about that because it gives it a different color to the one that I already have. And as you know from this video, I've moved some stuff around, like the torch coral, I move it towards the front here so I can have a little better coloring difference than having it placed next to the trumpet head in the back there where the 6-line wrasse is floating around. The green button polyps here, I moved back to the top here just so that the back has the brown and the front has the green, so it gives it a little distinction. Earlier I separated with this green button polyps, I put it to the front here and it kind of like muted the brown one in the back. So if I leave it next to each other, it actually makes the tank look much better. And when I released the new anemone, it was floating around in front here, and now it found its place in the back here. As you can see, the color is pretty cool. It looks just like the hammerhead with the kind of like translucent neon green with the purple tips. So this one, I think it may be the Serbae anemone. I looked it up online and I'm not sure. And some of them just call it the Condylactis, I think. So I have to look more into that and get back to you in the next video. So this guy looks super nice, and I'm hoping that it won't die out like the other two that I have in the past with the with it being shrunk, because one of them actually had a really nice pink base when it was moving around, and I think I've shown that in some of my videos in the past, if you want to look back into that. But this one, I'm hoping that it will thrive and become large, because this is not the largest that I've seen. Petco actually had many of these guys in stock, and some of them are super big. This one is probably the smallest one of the whole group that I got. I like things to start, like, buying things small even though they're the same price, just so that I can see it grows, and that's the enjoyment that I usually get from having a fish hobby. And this one, the green hammerhead that I added like last week, I think, it looks so nice. Like, if you look at it in person, the color is just so mesmerizing, and it's $25 and it's totally worth it. So I'm also happy that my sun coral is also doing well. It's not growing as much as it did when I first got it, even though I actually feed my corals pretty often. I try to feed different types of food to the tank, just in case that one of them is finicky. So I try to cover as much as I can to make sure that they all get their fair share of grub. And I just actually the main thing I feed my tank is brine shrimp. It seems like everyone responds to it, and I usually leave the pump off for quite a while, like probably sometimes like 20 to 30 minutes, just in case that the food may be stable, so that the coral could get to it rather than having it sucked up by the filter. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I'm gonna add more things to the tank for sure. Summer is kind of hot this year in Boston, so it's kind of hard to always want to add more fish, but then I figure it's so hot that even though I have the AC on, my AC would just overworked, and it doesn't cool down to even 80 degrees. And I think last week, a couple of weeks ago, when it was super hot here, my AC couldn't get past 82. It was crazy here. So hopefully temperature will be nicer, and I'll get to add more fish to the tank, and I definitely will get a cover for this tank for sure, because I learned that so from my past experience, like some of the fish have jumped out, and if I were to add more fish to it, I don't want them to like get scared in the middle of the night and then pop out at the wrong part of the tank and land it outside the tank instead of inside. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you again soon.